Are you ready to embark on a dark journey through the off-road world? Get ready to discover the 20 worst engines of all time, those that promised adventure but delivered nothing but nightmares. From engines that failed before 100,000 miles to those that have become real walking bombs on the trails. In this list, you will find stories of disappointment that will leave even the most experienced mechanics speechless. Stay with us and find out if your favorite engine made this infamous list. We start our list at number 20, Chevrolet 2.2L engine. Launched in the 90s, the Chevrolet 2.2L was a hit in pickups and SUVs, but did he really deliver what he promised? Discover what was hidden behind his robust image. This 2.2-liter inline four-cylinder engine may seem simple, but it was a trap. The design had its weaknesses, and many drivers felt the impact of this on the roads. After 100,000 miles, many drivers are faced with cylinder head and water pump failures. Could you believe it? These problems could leave you stranded far from home. An estimated 60% of these engines failed before even reaching 150,000 miles. A real nightmare for owners. What would you do if your engine became a walking bomb? At number 19, Ford 4.0 LSOHC V6. The Ford 4.0 LSOHC V6 was used in several Ford SUVs and trucks in the early 2000s. A real standout in the market, but not exactly for the right reason. Did you know he could be a nightmare for his owners? This 4.0-liter V6 engine was famous for its complex design, which often led to expensive maintenance. Imagine spending more than the cost of the engine just to keep it running. It's something every enthusiast should fear. Head problems were so common that many engines failed in less than 120,000 miles. This statistic is alarming. After all, who wants an engine that looks more like a ticking time bomb than a robust machine? After so many difficulties, Ford decided to end production of this engine in 2010. That's right, it was so problematic that it became a cautionary tale for all off-road enthusiasts. Who knows what was to come? At number 18, Chrysler 3.5L V6. In the 90s, the Chrysler 3.5L V6 arrived, promising efficiency in Chrysler and Dodge vehicles. But did he manage to keep that promise? Let's find out how this engine became a real challenge for owners. With its 3.5-liter V6 design, the idea was to ensure efficiency, but the reality was very different. Result, an engine that not only disappointed, but also became quite fragile in the off-road world. After just 80,000 miles, many drivers have reported serious overheating problems. Imagine being stuck on the road, only to discover that your engine has overheated. A true horror plot for any adventurer. With so much fragility, the 3.5L V6 earned the nickname Paper Engine. That's right, an engine so notoriously flawed that it has become synonymous with disappointment among off-road lovers. Would you trust it on a trail? At number 17, Land Rover 3.9L V8. Developed in the 1980s, Land Rover's 3.9L V8 engine was designed to conquer difficult terrain. However, instead of conquering, it made many drivers lose faith in their off-road adventures. This 3.9-liter V8 is notorious for its electrical failures and ignition problems. Prepare for unpleasant surprises when you least expect them. A true nightmare for those who loved the freedom of the trails. When the weather gets extreme, this engine kicks ass, and it's not good. Most don't exceed 100,000 miles, leading many to question whether they were made for adventure or to be a walking bomb. Land Rover, realizing drivers' pain, even launched a recall program to correct these faults. But did this really solve the problems? The 3.9L V8 saga continues. At number 16, Nissan 2.4 Li4. The Nissan 2.4 Li4 was widely used on Nissan platforms in the 90s and 2000s. An engine that won many hearts, but would soon become a cause for concern for off-roaders around the world. With a simple design, this 2.4-liter inline-four engine looks friendly but hides several weaknesses that reveal themselves on off-road adventures. Prepare for surprises that leave drivers in trouble. After 90,000 miles and in off-road conditions, many owners face a sad fate: cracks in the engine block. This ended up becoming a common phenomenon, turning promising trucks into headaches. Famous among off-roaders, the Nissan 2.4 Li4 has gained the reputation of being a true walking bomb. This terrible reputation made many prefer more robust engines, leaving the 2.4L forgotten, a bitter choice. At number 15, Dodge 2.7 LV6. Launched in the early 2000s, the Dodge 2.7 LV6 quickly became a popular choice in Dodge pickups and SUVs. But was his popularity worth it? Let's find out. Although it promised good performance, this 2.7-liter V6 had a dark secret: durability problems that soon became evident to many drivers. Oil pump failures have caused nightmares for owners, leading many engines to fail prematurely in less than 75,000 miles. That's what we call a walking bomb. The infamous Dodge 2.7 LV6 not only disappointed its owners, but also earned a prominent place on the worst engines of the decade list. Do you believe this really happened? At number 14, Buick 3.8 LV6. Introduced in the 1980s, the Buick 3.8 LV6 was widely used in several GM cars, but little did the public know what problems would follow. This engine made history, but not in the way the automaker would have liked. This 3.8-liter V6 engine, with DOHC technology, failed to prove its durability. Instead of being a performance champion, it has proved to be a constant technical challenge over the years, leaving many drivers frustrated. Notorious for oil leaks and overheating before 100,000 miles, this engine became an owner's nightmare. It was as if they were looking for a way to speed up a visit to the mechanic. The Buick 3.8L had different plans. The reputation of the Buick 3.8 LV6 was so bad that some mechanics refused to work on it. To them, this engine was better known as disaster on wheels, and its horror stories continue to be told to this day. At number 13, Toyota 3.0 litro 5635Z. The Toyota 3.0 LV63VZ engine made its debut in the renowned Tacoma and 4Runner in the 90s. It was a time when adventure was on the road and drivers sought robustness and reliability. This 3.0-liter V6 is famous for being robust in terms of construction, but don't let that fool you. It presented several design problems that made it a headache and a nuisance for many. One of the most notorious errors of this engine was the failure of the cylinder head. This forced many drivers to change the engine after just 150,000 miles. A real stab at off-road lovers. According to some mechanics, only 60% of 3VZ engines managed to survive natural wear and tear. This makes him one of the great villains for those who expected adventure and not frustration. At number 12, Jaguar 4.0 LV8. Introduced in the 90s, the Jaguar 4.0 LV8 promised power and elegance. But did he comply? Let's find out what really happened to this legendary engine. The 4.0-liter V8 engine received plaudits at first, but many reliability problems soon revealed themselves. Why did such a vaunted engine fail to be reliable? What happened at Jaguar? Surprisingly, only a few models managed to exceed 120 miles without requiring an engine change. Can you believe a name like Jaguar allowed itself that? Let's explore your trajectory. The criticism was scathing, forcing Jaguar to look for engineering solutions. What would they do to salvage their reputation? Were the changes enough to save the V8's legacy? At number 11, Honda 2.0 LK20. The Honda 2.0 LK20 made history for its efficiency in models like the Civic, but when it comes to off-road, it can be a trap. Who knew such a beloved engine could fail in difficult terrain? This 2.0-liter i4 engine is a ticking time bomb when it comes to pressure lubrication. On rugged trails, you might wonder if the K20 really is the best choice for off-road adventures. After 80,000 miles, many K20 fans have experienced a sad reality: recurring failures. If you're planning an off-road expedition, be prepared to deal with unexpected problems and an engine that could let you down. Despite its charm and popularity, the K20 is often ill-advised for off-road adventures. It may be loved, but don't let that affection stop you from choosing a beefier engine for your next challenge. At number 10, BMW 3.0 Li6. The BMW 3.0 Li6 was used in several models, such as the X5 in the 90s and 2000s, promising a luxurious experience. But has this technology remained on the trails? Let's find out. This 3.0-liter inline-six engine is sophisticated, but also problematic. With a high maintenance rate, it requires care that can make even the most dedicated enthusiast shake their head in disapproval. Drivers often report overheating issues and electrical failures before they even reach 100,000 miles. Imagine the frustration of being stuck on the trail without being able to rely on your engine. Considered an engine that requires special attention, many prefer to avoid intense use of this BMW off-road. After all, who wants a walking bomb on an adventure away from the asphalt? At number 9, Mitsubishi 3.0 LV6. The Mitsubishi 3.0 LV6 engine was a hit in the brand's SUVs in the 90s. It was a symbol of comfort and practicality, but little did drivers know that they were on their way to a mechanical nightmare. This 3.0-liter V6 looked promising, offering efficiency, but it soon became known for its design problems. A true balance between technology and disaster, isn't it? A tragedy at every corner. Many engines failed before reaching 100 miles, presenting recurring problems that left drivers frustrated and searching for answers that never came. Mitsubishi, cornered by complaints, had to revise the engine design. After all, what good is an engine that looks like a walking bomb, right? The owners deserved something that actually worked. At number 8, Jeep 2.5 Li4. The Jeep 2.5 Li4 was widely used in several Jeep trucks from the 80s and 90s, but little did the owners know that they would face a real battle on the trails. This 2.5-liter engine, an i4, became famous for its disappointing power and a series of reliability problems, leaving many drivers in the lurch. Engine failures were so common that most Jeepers experienced problems before they even reached 80,000 miles, especially when venturing off-road, considered a true fiasco in Jeep's history. This engine generated numerous complaints and became a legend of unhappiness among off-road aficionados. At number 7, Subaru 3.0 litros H6. The Subaru 3.0 LH6 was introduced in the 2000s and quickly became popular in the brand's SUVs, promising power and comfort. But was this promise fulfilled, or did it become a trap for fans of off-road adventure? This 3.0-liter engine, known by its H6 configuration, looked like an innovation on paper. However, what many discovered was a headache due to serious head gasket issues, leaving many drivers disappointed. The story doesn't end well for the Subaru H6. Many reports of failures appeared before even reaching the 100,000-mile mark, especially in harsh climates. This has caused some off-roaders to throw in the towel very early in the journey. Despite its innovative promises, many users ended up abandoning this engine. The criticism related to its critical maintenance became so strong that it generated a ripple effect. Off-road lovers began to avoid trusting the Subaru H6. At number 6, Pontiac 4.3 litros 5.6. The Pontiac 4.3 LV6 was used in many Pontiac models in the 80s and 90s. It looked promising, but soon drivers realized that something was very wrong on the trails and roads. This 4.3-liter V6 engine was known for its complexity, with many components prone to failure. It was like putting an overloaded engine in a car that was supposed to be robust. About 70% of these engines failed before they even reached 100,000 miles. This is an automobile tragedy that has made many drivers lose faith in Pontiac. Considered one of Pontiac's greatest disasters, its failure drastically affected the brand's reputation. Fans were disappointed, and the company worked to recover from this huge blow. At number 5, Mazda 2.0 LF. The Mazda 2.0 LF was widely used in Mazda models in the 1990s, especially in compact cars. But who knew that behind the elegant design, a problematic engine was hidden? This 2.0-liter i4 engine was simple, but it didn't get carried away with simplicity. Durability and power, a real disaster. For those who expected performance, disappointment was right around the corner. Reports come from all corners. Frequent problems after 60,000 miles were not just rumors. The Mazda 2.0L truly deserved its negative label, with flaws that left drivers in the lurch. Regular replacements have become a financial nightmare for many owners. Imagine having to spend a fortune on an engine that should be reliable. This engine, more than a walking bomb, turned into a real nightmare. At number 4, GMC 5.3 LV8 LM7. The GMC 5.3 LV8 LM7 is one of the most problematic engines used in GMC's UVs and trucks from the 2000s. Motorists face a nightmare when dealing with these engine problems. This 5.3-liter V8 engine, despite its power, has serious structural and lubrication problems that directly affect its performance and durability. It's like having a giant who limps. Surprisingly, many owners reported engine failures before they even reached 120 miles. Excessive internal breakdowns made this engine a real-time bomb for those who bet on it. With such a negative reputation, it's no surprise that many chose to get rid of their vehicles rather than repair them. They chose to sell rather than face the mechanical fiasco that was the GMC 5.3L V8. Now we come to our top 3 on our list. Cadillac 4.6L Northstar V8. The Cadillac 4.6L Northstar V8, popular in the 90s and 2000s, looked promising, but it wasn't all that. This engine lost points in its reputation, dragging the brand into a tide of criticism and disappointment. This 4.6-liter V8 was infamous for its head gasket failures. Drivers may have dreamed of speed, but reality brought more nightmares than adrenaline. According to many drivers, the real betrayal happens before 80,000 miles with flashing check engine lights. If you think you can escape, think again. Although it presented itself as a luxury engine, the Northstar failed in a variety of driving conditions. This not only frustrated drivers, but also seriously damaged Cadillac's reputation. At number 2, Chevrolet 6.0 litros, V8. The Chevrolet 6.0 V8, which dominated trucks in the 2000s, stood out for its reliability, but it did not escape failures that left many drivers in the lurch. With 6.0 liters of pure power, this V8 had its reputation tarnished by assembly problems that angered owners and mechanics. Drivers have reported overheating in trucks that have hit the 100,000-mile mark. It wasn't an exaggeration. It was a frustrating reality for many. Despite having a cult following, the 6.0 V8 is also seen as a villain in severe conditions, sparking heated debates among enthusiasts. And now, first on our list, Volkswagen 2.5 Li5. The Volkswagen 2.5 Li5, an unusual engine, powered several VW platforms, including the iconic Jetta. Its versatility failed to compensate for the flaws that made it infamous among drivers. This 2.5-liter i5 engine was notable for its lack of power and constant breakdowns. It promised adventure, but many drivers discovered it wasn't made for rough trails. Reports of failures between 80 to 100,000 miles are alarmingly common. If you think of an engine that seemed more like a walking bomb, the 2.5 liters could be the answer. Considered one of the worst engines in Volkswagen's history, the 2.5 Li5 was discontinued in 2017, ending an era of frustration for many owners. A great reminder of what not to do. What's up, guys? We've reached the end of our tours of some of the worst off-road engines ever made. Now we want to know which of these engines is your favorite. Or maybe you know some other engine that should be on this list. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. And if you liked the video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content like this. Oh, and activate the bell so you don't miss any news. Until next time.